All right, welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled you're here today. We are tackling a massive operational challenge that managers of large campuses, industrial parks, and commercial facilities face every single day, and that is intra-facility transportation. But look, we aren't just talking about getting from point A to point B here. We're going to explore how transforming your internal ground mobility can actually become a huge strategic advantage for your operation, driving efficiency, safety, and some very measurable cost savings. We're going to take a close look at a surprising yet highly mature tool that is completely redefining how ground logistics are handled today. Picture this scenario for a second. Why start a loud, heavy truck just across a building? It's a fantastic question, isn't it? In large facilities, movement is often just a series of short, disconnected trips. A technician grabbing some parts or a supervisor doing their rounds. Using a full-sized vehicle for these tiny journeys is incredibly wasteful. It burns fuel while it's just sitting there idling, it's an absolute nightmare to park in tight spaces, and it creates a ton of unnecessary noise. Basically, it's just the wrong tool for the job. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today: understanding facility mobility, operational challenges, strategic benefits, facility applications, selecting solutions, and finally, smart fleet technology. Let's jump right into Section 1, understanding facility mobility, moving beyond the green. The most important journey a golf cart ever took didn't actually happen on a golf course. It happened when its tires hit the concrete and asphalt of working facilities. That traditional image you might have in your head of a golf cart being just a leisure accessory, that is completely obsolete in modern operations. We've witnessed a total functional reassignment of this vehicle. It is no longer a recreational novelty. It is a deliberate, mature operational asset. This is purpose-built equipment that's perfectly scaled for the pace of contained environments. It addresses a universal need for efficient, quiet, and clean transportation, right in those spots where full-size vehicles completely fail. Moving right along to Section 2, operational challenges, the realities of ground logistics. Now, this brilliantly illustrates exactly what operations managers are dealing with daily. When you use full-size trucks for those short trips, the cause is an oversized engine, and the impact is massive, wasted fuel from constant idling. Then, of course, you have noise pollution. Those loud combustion engines disrupt the healing environments of hospitals or ruin the peaceful guest experience at a high-end resort. And finally, emissions. Gas engines directly contribute to greenhouse gases, which means you're going to miss your corporate ESG goals. These aren't just annoyances. These are real, tangible operational leaks. Let's shift gears to Section 3, strategic benefits of golf carts, the compelling economic case. Okay, 12 minutes. That number right there, that represents the productivity dividend. The absolute most wasted resource in any large facility is time. Imagine a highly skilled technician who has to walk 15 minutes to a remote site just to make a repair. By swapping to a small electric utility vehicle, that exact trip is cut down to 3 minutes. That is 12 minutes saved on a single trip. Now multiply that by a whole team across multiple trips every single day, and you are suddenly rescuing countless hours of valuable skilled labor time and reallocating it to actual value-added work. But it's not just about time, right? The financial and environmental benefits are absolutely immense. When we look at the total cost of ownership over a 5 to 7 year lifespan, electric utility vehicles easily absorb their initial purchase price. Why is that? Because electricity is remarkably cheaper per mile than gas. Plus, your maintenance intervals are massively extended because there's literally no oil to change, there are no spark plugs, and no complex transmissions to break down. Furthermore, swapping out gas vehicles directly reduces your reportable Scope 1 emissions. And get this, forward-thinking facilities are even integrating their fleets with on-site solar charging canopies, meaning they're powering their mobility directly from the sun. Which brings us to Section 4, facility applications, sector-specific adaptations. Commercial golf carts have literally become the operational bloodstream across some vastly different sectors. For instance, airports use them to deftly navigate those super tight spaces between gates and out on the tarmac. Universities rely on them heavily for silent security patrols and agile maintenance crews. And in large resorts, well, they are the absolute backbone of guest services. What they all share is a critical need to optimize movement on private property. Remember, this isn't public transit. It's precise internal ground logistics. Okay, Section 5, selecting the right golf cart solution, infrastructure, and procurement. So how do you actually roll this out? Well, proper implementation requires a structured plan. Step 1, you need to audit your current daily mileage to determine your true electrical energy demand. Step 2, Map out central, secure charging locations where the fleet naturally rests. And a quick tip here, this is where you absolutely must consult your facilities and electrical teams early on to ensure your power supply is safe and fully up to code. Finally, step 3 is specifying the right commercial-grade configurations for the job. So the crucial point to remember here is this: configuration over customization. In a professional facility, personal taste and flashy accessories just do not matter. Your procurement must focus on utility. You need to view the vehicle as a flexible platform. You want to specify things like utility beds, secure tool racks, heavy-duty suspension, and rust-resistant aluminum frames. You are investing in commercial-grade tools suited to the task, definitely not consumer leisure accessories. And finally, Section 6, Technology Supporting Facility Mobility, Intelligent Fleet Connectivity. The advancements we're seeing here are purely engineered for heavy-duty operational demands. Telematics and GPS give you real-time location data, which helps you right-size your fleet and eliminate underused capital. The shift over to lithium-ion batteries guarantees much faster charging, longer lifespans, and consistent power output from the beginning of a shift right to the very end. And on the safety side, we're seeing amazing features like electronic stability control to help handle heavy loads on turns, and programmable zone speeds that proactively protect pedestrian areas on your campus. Now, what's really fascinating here is how AI and data are fundamentally changing fleet upkeep. We are officially moving past scheduled maintenance and into the era of predictive maintenance. By analyzing really subtle performance data, like a slight change in motor vibration or a trend in battery charge times, intelligent diagnostics can actually flag an issue before it happens. This transitions maintenance from a reactive calendar chore into a precise, data-driven prescription, which completely prevents costly downtime. Looking just a bit ahead into the near future within these predictable, closed environments, things get even more efficient. We're looking at autonomous functionality handling those boring, repetitive tasks, like a vehicle completing a pre-programmed security loop overnight on its own, which frees up human judgment for far more complex work. We're also seeing highly modular chassis. Picture a single vehicle that operates as a flatbed for hauling materials in the morning, and then easily swaps out to a personnel carrier for the afternoon shift. To bring it all together, the tools you choose quietly communicate your priorities to visitors, to clients, and to your employees. As this quote says, "A modern, smart, and clean fleet does more than perform tasks. It projects an image of operational excellence. It signals a very real, tangible commitment to safety, continuous innovation, and sustainable practices." People want to work in forward-thinking environments, and your mobility fleet is a highly visible part of that brand. Which leaves us with one final, pretty important question to reflect on. Are you ready to redefine your ground mobility and invest in a smarter, more fluid operational model? Or are you still driving a loud, gas-guzzling truck just across the building? I really hope the insights in this explainer have equipped you to make deliberate, grounded choices for your own facility. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I will see you in the next one.